What's going on, y'all? This is your boy Kev coming to you with another game analysis. I'm going to be talking about Game 6 between the Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls. The Celtics get it done on the road again, and they win the series in 6 over the Chicago Bulls, 105-83. Just a wire-to-wire beatdown of the Chicago Bulls at home in Game 6. Man, the Bulls never recovered from losing Rondo after Game 2. After they took the 2-0 lead in in Boston. Of course, Boston. The day before Game 1, huge blow to their star Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas losing his baby's little. I don't know if his baby's losing his little sister, China Thomas, to a single car accident last week, and in the emotional toll and effect that it had not only on Isaiah Thomas but on his teammates. Avery Bradley, a teammate of his, a friend of his. Both of them growing up in the Tacoma, Washington area. He was the guy that broke the news to Isaiah Thomas when it happened, and then you had those scenes of Thomas crying before Game 1, and then Bradley being there for him, being that teammate to come over and sit with him and console him, while Thomas let his emotions run loose. And in games 1 and 2, it just seemed like, Thomas did his thing, but the supporting cast for Boston really didn't step up and help him out in games 1 and 2 at home. After Game 2, Thomas traveled back up to his home in Tacoma, Washington. Got to be around his family, and I believe it really rejuvenated Thomas to be around his family, to let his emotions loose, let all his bad emotions, his sad emotions, leave all that with his family, and come back rejuvenated and fresh and ready to continue the series against Boston, because it really showed. Thomas came back rejuvenated, so that rejuvenated his team as well. You've seen better performances out of, out of his supporting cast, especially Al Horford. Horford really stepped up, especially in games 3 and 4. Then you had guys like Crowder, Gerald Green. Green was probably the biggest difference for the Celtics. Started off on the bench, but then was subbed in. He replaced Amir Johnson in the starting lineup, and Boston really took off after that. Again, Boston winning 4 straight to win the series in 6 games over the Bulls, becoming the second team, just like the 93 Phoenix Suns, as the 1 seed to overcome losing the first 2 at home, and then winning still winning the series. I was going to say, and winning 4 straight, but they the Suns didn't win 4 straight. They lost they won in 7. They won 4 of the last 5. This time the Celtics won all 4 straight, I should say. But yeah, really big game for it. And Thomas really didn't have a big game in this game. He really didn't shoot it that well at all. He's only 4 of 11 for 12 points. He also had 5 rebounds and 6 assists. Avery Bradley stepped it up offensively for Boston. Yes, like I said, he had a couple of good games in the series. Tonight he had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 9-12 from the field, so he shot very efficiently. Again, huge difference by Gerald Green, 16 points off 6 of 13 shooting. Like I said, I think Green was, if anything, was the X factor in this series. Great move by Brad Stevens of inserting Green into the lineup. You know, giving Boston more athleticism on the court. Like I said, benching Amir Johnson, but Amir Johnson being a team player, still supporting his teammates, you know, while they were on the floor, on the bench, always showing positive energy, and that's an even better thing to see. You know, when a guy gets demoted, but still, you know, he's still cheering his teammates on. He's still, you know, putting the team first. Yeah, Brad Stevens clearly outcoached Fred Hoiberg in this instance. Because going to the Chicago side, Chicago, again, losing Rajon Rondo, who was a huge reason why they won games 1 and 2. Had the near triple-double in game 2 in Chicago's victory in Boston. But after he went down with that fractured right thumb, fractured. I think it was left thumb. I'm sorry, one of his thumbs anyway. After Rajon Rondo went down, it seemed like the Bulls offense lost their luster. Of course, Rondo was the playmaker for the team, so it allowed Butler and Dwayne Wade to get in those scoring positions, you know, and then Rondo was able to find them, you know, on passes. To getting them in their sweet spots to do damage to Boston in the first 2 games. Like I said, Rondo not playing the rest of the series. It seemed like Chicago was trying to play more pick and roll ball, but it wasn't working for them at all. And Dwayne Wade really struggled in this series. After games 1 and 2, had a big game 2 in the victory in Boston, but you know, his first year coming home to Chicago, born and raised in Robbins, Illinois, going home playing for his hometown Bulls after 13 years in Miami. Still, I believe the mayor of Miami down there, Wade County. I mean, the other guys really didn't step up for Chicago either. Robin Lopez, who had 2 good games in Boston, he was never really the same after the series moved back to Chicago. Paul Zipser had a big, I think it was a game 2, where I think he had 16 in game 2, which helped him get the victory. He had 7 tonight on 3 of 9 shooting, so that wasn't good. Nikola Mirotic, who had a roller coaster series, he wasn't good at first. He had a good, and then he had a good game. Then he was back down to not having a good game. So, you know, a lot of inconsistency for Chicago. I mean, from everyone. You know, is even Butler himself. You know, Butler only shooting 9 of 17. It's not bad, but, you know, gets a few more of those shots to fall, it's a different game. He also had 7 rebounds. But yeah, I clearly think it was a great coaching job by Brad Stevens in this series, and a horrible job by Fred Hoiberg not being able to get the offense running without Rondo. That's a no-no. Obviously, some of that blame goes on Grant and Michael Carter Williams as well. I remember game 3, Grant had a problem with turnovers, and then Carter Williams couldn't really do anything. Isaiah Cannon actually started in the backcourt today. Isaiah Cannon was basically the number 4 point guard on their team. But he had a big game in Chicago, so he inserted him into the starting lineup. And he had 9 points tonight on 3 of 5 shooting. But it was seriously a series where, again, Brad Stevens outcoached Fred Hoiberg. I mean, just when it looked like the Bulls would be were the team that I and a lot of other people thought they were, and you know, after they took that 2-0 lead, people were talking about sweep. They were talking about a sweep. They were talking about they was going to come back home and win 3 and 4 at home to get to the next round. But you know, obviously that did not happen. Yeah, just a really bad series for Chicago. Again, after that 2-0 Boston lead, they really couldn't get it done. They lose all 3 home games that they had. That's unbelievable. The road team won 5 games of this 6-game series. That's remarkable. Of course, one of the rules of the playoffs, if you want to win the championship, you got to win on the road, and that's what Boston was able to do. Once again, the final score 105-83. Celtics win the series in 6. They will go on to face the Washington Wizards in the second round. I believe starting Sunday. That should be a hell of a matchup. I should have a second round video coming up in the next couple days before the second round actually begins. Want to wait and see about this Clippers and Jazz game. You know, the Eastern Conference is basically set. Well, we'll get to that in the next video. I was going to spoil that, but we're going to get to that in the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this series. Subscribe and share. For everyone watching this video, I wish you nothing but positive vibes only. I appreciate y'all again, and I'm going to see you in the next video.